What's up? Nerdthusiast Poker Podcast. We're here.
Side by side.
Yeah.
We haven't had a side by side like this in a minute.
I know. I like it better this way. It's just harder, to get together this way.
Yeah. No, I know.
With life and everything else in between.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about this episode, but let's go into our sponsors first before we get going.
Yeah, we got two sponsors. First off, I want to thank our sponsors. First off, the Slot Squad. They are part of the Playmaker brand, and I am streaming on there currently, but the Playmaker brand and Slot Squad, you can check them out at slotsquad.tv. You can check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/theslotsquad. On our Twitter account, it's blowing up. It's slot_squad. And you can find us on Instagram, everywhere. They can be found. And we're having weekly streams for all different kinds of casino games. A lot of great content going up. You want to check that out. Check out the Slot Squad follow. It's free. Go check them out. Second one, we have another sponsor. I think, is the first time ever we've had two sponsors.
Two.
Yeah. So we have another one.
Moving on up.
If you download the Club GG app, check out Spade Society, and the code, I'll give it to you right here. We'll pop it up on screen, too. 788-597. 788-597. Go in there. It's a private group, but you can play cash games, tournaments, and it's right through the Club GG software, and it's awesome. Club GG software is totally legit. I've been playing on it nonstop, and I've actually had a good amount of success. I just did a cash out today, so they'll cash out directly to your account. But yeah, check it out, Spade Society on Club GG.
Now, how do they have it set up? Is that sweeps coins?
No, it's like a private club, so anyone can join. It's just a private club.
Oh, I'm saying, so you can.
It's like a private group. That's it. Yeah, so you guys can join the group. Just let them know that we sent you, and as long as you come in through our referral, they'll let you in. So.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, so lots to talk about. Speaking of sweeps, let's start with that.
Yeah, buddy.
So for a while now, I've been collecting a lot of hardware. You can kind of see
a lot of hardware
in the background.
Got a lot of hardware.
And Brian's got a little bit of a collection.
Finally.
A little bit of collection we're going to talk about.
So we had discussed it previously on, we're going back probably close to a year now. So I was fortunate enough to win a Global Poker Tournament Series trophy for Rattlesnake. I think it was 6 or 7. I don't know. One of the Rattlesnake series. And literally it's like, for me, it was career defining because as you can see behind us, these trophies are super legit.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they ran into a snag with, I'm guessing, their distributors or something. And it took, I'm not even kidding, up until what?
Like last
March?
Month. Yeah, last month.
Yeah, until March of this year. So this was last May I won this tournament. I'm waiting until March to get this swag box that includes my trophy. So I actually, it arrived when we were in Turning Stone. So I'll talk more about our Turning Stone trip. But it's taken everything in me not to open this box.
You haven't opened. That's what I was going to ask you.
No.
Okay.
We were doing,
yeah.
This is like an official unboxing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So I brought the box here with me today.
Do you have a pocket knife or anything to cut it open with?
Hold on a second. Let me see here. Let me take these off first.
All right. Yeah, Global's got like the most legit trophies. They're so much fun. And so Brian texted me, I think, like right that night or the next morning. He's like, dude, I was at work, and he's like, text me. He's like, dude, I shipped one finally. And I was like, yes. But I don't have a rattlesnake, so now he's got a flex on me. Do you need a knife?
No, I can just pull this little tab.
So yeah, I was like, dude, I don't have a rattlesnake. So they have like 4 main series, and the rattlesnake is one of them. And you might just stand up.
Yeah, I'll just stand up.
Let me just make sure you're in frame here. Hold on.
All right, hold on. Am I here? Yeah. Look, I'll duck down a little bit.
Yeah, if you duck right there's perfect.
You want me to put the box behind me? Nah, we'll keep it on the table. Look at this thing. This thing came. I'm like, Jesus Christ! Look at this. Excuse me for you religious people out there. So.
Oh, you got more.
More tape. Oh my goodness.
Came unprepared. Need a box cutter for this.
Well, listen, I wanted to be authentic so that the viewers knew that this was an actual unboxing.
This is an actual unboxing. This is a real deal.
On it. Okay, so hold on. I'm bringing that here. It's easier. I want to sit down. Bring it up like you do.
Yeah, bring it up. Pull from the box.
You've done a bunch of unboxings.
I know.
This will be my first.
He's a rookie unboxer, guys.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
For the noobs on the channel.
It's like in A Christmas Story. It's like
What is it? Fragile.
All right, so first
Here we
thing
go.
we got is a Global Rattlesnake T-shirt. So you want to go ahead and open that guy up.
So open that up.
Rattlesnake T.
Okay. That's the thing. They give you not even the trophy. Like they give you a whole merch box too.
We got.
Oh,
check
that's
this
cool.
shit out. We got a
Look at that.
rattlesnake hat.
Look at
Pretty
that.
legit. Pretty legit.
I'll tell you what too. Like just before you start digging some more here, you can't buy Global Poker stuff. So what's cool about it is like it's only stuff that you can win, and so at a bunch of tournaments now that I've been at, like it's definitely a conversation starter. Like I'm like, yo, what'd you win? Because they'll have a hat on and they'll be like, yo, I won, Rattlesnake
Something.
4.
Yeah.
So I've had a couple starter conversations with people just from that. So you feel like you're
Man,
part of the club.
There's a box within a box. So this must be the guy here.
Oh, it's a fitted hat too, bro.
Yeah, try it on.
It's a fitted, John. I got a big head, dude. I'm gonna just leave it. I got a big dome. I don't know if it's
I
gonna
got
fit.
a pretty big head too. They didn't ask my hat size.
It's pretty sweet though. I like the back of the shirt. It's like an '80s vibe to it or something.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
like it.
sweet.
Got some fresh merch to wear at the poker table now.
Well, listen, you take something, dude. You were always giving me stuff.
Yeah,
Take
we'll
the
see.
shirt.
We'll see.
Take
Maybe the shirt. Maybe I like the
Are
shirt.
you a large or a medium?
I'm large.
I ordered a large.
I'm a large right now. Trying to get back. I'm trying to get back down to a medium, dude. My diet's been so
No
struggle,
way.
bro.
You can't wear a medium. Grown men wear large.
Grown men wear large.
I wore a medium in college. I looked like an absolute fool.
Look at this. It is super legit. So he definitely did not open this because this is just box.
You should have told me, like, dude, prep in advance before you take this.
God.
Oh,
Oh God!
Jesus
It's
Christ.
exploding. Stuff everywhere is here. We just had the cleaner over. It's a mess. Jesus Christ! Oh my gosh! Yeah. So if you are gonna eventually get an unboxing at home, be very prepared
You
that
should have told me.
it's
Again,
gonna be
it's the after
styrofoam.
hour.
Here we go.
Look at this guy.
Look at this joint. That is massive, dude. Massive.
Hold on a second. Let's take this plastic off here.
Massive.
Look at this guy. This is sitting in front of me all night. When these guys come in. We have Poker League tonight. I'm just putting this right in front of my seat.
That is legit,
Holy
bro.
smokes.
Oh, so you haven't even showed your kids yet, man. That's awesome.
No, check that shit out.
It's got a little tongue on there.
Look at this guy.
That is legit, bro.
Yeah, this one. This is it.
And that's the thing too about them. Like they're not little cheap little things.
No.
Like that's heavy, dude. That's a legit
No,
trophy.
this is legit. So unfortunately, it was for the gold coins, which is kind of the play money side. But I tell you what, listen, not knocking anything from the gold coins. The players actually play
because
like,
they want these.
They want it. Like
that's what I said. Like it's like a minefield in the beginning in the gold coins and SCs, but
yes, but once you get down to the nitty gritty,
It's-
guys are playing to win.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're not playing like, oh, you know what, screw it. I got a flush draw
No.
here. I'm getting it in. Like,
dude,
no.
these things are bragging rights, dude. Like people, like they're posting these on Twitter. Anyone that gets them in, they're posting them on Twitter, posting on Facebook. Like they're bragging hard on these things. So that's legit.
Yeah,
bro. Your kids are
man.
gonna freak out when you show them, dude.
Yep.
That's such a cool.
Oh my god! So now I got to hop back on there and get me like a goat. You got a goat?
I got a
Like
goat
an
and
eagle. We don't. No one has.
no one has an eagle. We got to get our.
That's it.
eagle
We got to
game.
get an eagle, and we
Yeah.
set them all up. So, yeah, Global Poker. If you're out there following, thank you so much for this. It's so cool that you guys do this shit. Excuse my language. It's free, right? You go on there, you have free gold coins. You get certain like you get some every series. They give you like a free token. Like you get like a free tournament ticket. Usually it's like $11 tournament ticket you get for free.
They just had like a 33 one. They
No,
were
I
giving
saw
out.
that.
Yeah.
Like they're always trying to bring you back to play and sit down and kind of get back into the game and the thrill of things. But they're always giving away gold coins to kind of boost your bankroll on there so that you can play some of these gold coin events, and they still give you a trophy when there's really no like dollar amount invested into it. You know what I mean? So good stuff. Thank you.
So now this guy's flexing, right? Not only does he roll in with one trophy.
Oh yeah. So
This dude went trophy dry for like 5 years. Like, where was he? And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm gonna just snag 2 trophies in a week. So the week he got this in, he calls me. He's like, I'm going to Borgata. I'll let him tell the story, but decides that he's gonna play down there. Luckily, I had a piece of him, so
you had a pretty big piece too.
so you can tell him about this tournament here. So we got another trophy. It's trophies.
Yeah.
It's trophy
Well,
unboxing
listen, I
day.
gotta give a little disclaimer. I'll say this.
Yeah.
I didn't win this outright.
It was a
but
chop.
It was a part of a 5-way chop and I'll kind of get into how I kind of acquired the trophy. But, if you watch and you follow Anthony and I always talk about, my style of poker, the things I kind of feel like my comfort levels at. And I love deep stack poker. Like I love like poker tournaments where you get, you start with a lot of chips, you have, deep stacks. You guys know what it is. I don't have to go into explanation. So, the Borgata had this series middle of March. It was a monster stack series, and the signature event, the last event, biggest buy-in, biggest guarantee, and it had the deepest stack. So I'm like, you know what? I really want to play this. It's definitely, I don't want to say it's made for me, but I'm made for it. Essentially, like I tend to do well in these types of tournaments. So I hit him up, like he already said. I'm like, yo, I think I'm gonna go fire at this thing, and he had his package. We had like some swaps going. He's like, yeah, give me some. So needless to say, I go there, I register, and I'm doing I absolutely crushed it day one. And it's really just because I was playing really, really solid poker, using a lot of the things that I've been working on through studying. Because I say it all the time, I don't get to play that much. So when I do play, I try and play at my peak. But yeah, I ended day one. Probably top 10% of the field that was left. Had a pretty good stack heading into day two, which gave me a lot of wiggle room. Without going into a lot of specifics about day one, I just know two hands in general, towards the end of the night. It was pretty close to the bubble to make it into day two. So basically, if you don't understand how a lot of tournament directors are doing things now, they're running their day one flights down to the final 12% of the field, or a certain blind or a level to end the night. And then everyone goes into day two, in the money. So Borgata was no different than this series. They were playing either down to the final 10 or 12%, I think
they
it was.
They do 12.5, I think, Borgata. 12.5%.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So there was probably 4 or 5 people still kind of waiting. And you know how it is. It gets so tight. And it's you could wait an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours until the bubble bursts. And, there's 2 or 3 people waiting to kind of to burst it. And I wound up getting kings against this guy's ace king, and he agonized over it because he opened, I ripped, and he was like, man, he's like, I just know you have a monster, and he just couldn't not call, so he called. Needless to say, eliminated him, chipped up pretty good, when I say chipped up pretty well, 400,000 in comparison to what the average at that time.
You were double the average, right?
Yeah, heading into day two, it was double the average. And then literally it was what burst the bubble. And again, every now and then a blind squirrel finds a nut. You know what I mean? It's real easy to play kings and aces, but literally that's what I had. The last hand of the night, I have aces. Another guy, he has queens. I open. He's like, he says, I remember, he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go all in. And I'm like, all right. And literally juiced me up because he had 400,000 himself. I had just over 400,000, juiced me up to $800K going to day two. And I was like, dude, I hit him up. I'm like, this is it. I am geared toward this because, again, without getting long winded with it, a lot of the times when I make a day two, I'm always coming in as the shorty stack or the below average stack. And that's just because I don't get aggressive enough to play near the bubble. And like I said, it's kind of easy to play aggressive when you have aces or kings, but but that wasn't all I was doing. Those are just 2 notable hands that kind of propelled me.
It's it's one of those things too. It's especially for recreational players like this, we always say it, but you're going down, you want to be able to make day two,
yes.
So you have to find the guys that are like us and be like, oh, you're only here as a rec player, and you got to take advantage of them. You have to really attack those kind of players. I look for the recs because I know that that dude's trying to come down for a second day to get out of the house and play, and he doesn't want to bust now, and he really wants to make it into the money. And those are the dudes and girls that you have to attack, and it makes a huge advantage. It does. I mean, going into day two with a stack. I mean, obviously, it's an advantage having a stack. That's just dumb to say. But it really is because all the low stacks on day two are just flying out the window, and you can just sit back and be like...
And that's just it. I made sure on day one, even, take those 2 hands out of it, I still had a decent, a decent chip stack in comparison to the overall average at the time, where I was able to put a little bit more pressure on those people who were looking to just bag. And I think that helped me chip up to the point where when I got the hands and I got it all in, it was like well worth it instead of, shipping it with 15 bigs. Now we're going all in for heaps, like a 60, 70 big blind pot. And now you're set. You know what I mean? So we'll fast forward to day 2 pretty much. I'm keeping him updated. It goes till like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, holy shit. Like,
I think I was like going to bed. I'm like, just keep texting me updates. I kept just waking up to check my phone, dude. I was so excited.
Yeah. So I make it down the final table. And like I said, I just kept playing my game. And we get to the point where it gets pretty stale. And like at that point, we had like the same 2 dealers throughout the whole night. Like they were just rotating in. And like, this is just a little PSA for the people out there. Like, treat the dealers good when they don't want to be there, because it was apparent that these 2 dealers were like, dude, can these guys come to some sort of deal? Because we had some actual like nerd burgers. And when I say nerd burgers, it's guys who were like, I'm going to win this thing. They didn't even mention a chop. And I knew who they were just based off of just kind of how they were like playing, and like they were talking, and their whole like this dude, I said this to you, like this dude was at the table like running sims, like he literally was like not like randomizers, like he was like taking his 2 cards and like flipping them around and like picking one up, looking at it, like flipping it around, picking one, looking at it. I'm like, is this dude for real? Like
so he wasn't actually using sims on his
no,
phone.
I'm sorry, he was doing randomization.
Randomization. I was gonna say, because you can't do that.
No, I know. Yeah. So, but I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, come on. Like, is this real life? Anyway, long story short, I was up and down throughout the course of the night. And then finally, when I get to like middle of the 5 people that are left at this point, like I had, third in chips, right? So I could kind of speak for the majority of the table. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm like, I don't know what you guys got to do tomorrow, but I don't, like, my boss is pretty liberal and flexible. Like, I can go into work whenever. I can play this out, but I don't know what you guys got planned. You guys want to even see what the numbers are? And then, like, the one dude who was, like, chipped up, he's like, I got to take my daughter to the airport, da-da-da-da-da. And it was, like, it started to gain a little bit of legs.
That's the thing about those tournaments, too, is, like, I even those, like, Saturday series and stuff, like, I tell everyone, like, look, listen, if you're going to play one of them, you need to make sure that your next day is clear, because that messes with your mind. Like, if you're like, I got to be somewhere at 9 a.m., I got to be somewhere at 7 a.m., like, it's going to start. You're at first, you're like, oh, I'll just play through the night. But when it gets around 2, 3 in the morning, it starts weighing on you.
Especially when you got to be up at 6 or 6:30. And, like, you got an actual day ahead of you.
So trying to get your secondary day, like, set so it's not even a mental focus that you have to worry about, I think that's definitely a big edge for players in those spots, because that's when you're gonna make your money, is that at 3, 4 in the morning.
So, like I said, I was throwing it out there as just like a courtesy to say, like, look, I just, I'm not at the bottom, I'm not at the top. I'm speaking for the people who are afraid to speak up. If they are at the bottom or they are at the top, I'd be willing to look at the numbers and see where we're at. But I'm also very comfortable just playing this thing out and seeing what happens, because at that point, I think we were guaranteed like at least just under 5 figures. And I'm like, whatever happens, happens. But I would very much so rather take the chop, because everyone's looking at like almost, if we did even, it wouldn't have been third place money. But if we did ICM, I know I'm looking at third place money right now.
Before chop, just so everyone knows, I think first place was around 40K, right?
Yes, it was 41,000 and change.
We're not talking about like a daily. This is substantial money, obviously.
Yes.
And if 40K is not substantial for you, then you're watching the wrong podcast. This is not. Go watch the High Roller GTO show. This isn't it.
So, I actually respect the guy. His name's Bob Huang. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Huang, something like that. He was in first place. I wouldn't say by a sizable amount, but by a decent enough amount where he could have absolutely been like, absolutely not. I'm the chip leader by probably, 15, 20 bigs on top of the next guy. I'd rather much play it out. But he was like, listen, I'm open to it. Let me just see the numbers. So the numbers come back. And listen, I'm never going to forget this dude's name, just because he was such, like, again, I'm not going to take money off people's plate or talk bad about anybody, but he was just like, oh, I'm going to need at least, I'm going to need at least 25 grand, right? This dude. And he has 4th place chips, right? And he's like, well, it's not fair. You're talking about a chop right now, and I just lost 2 big hands. And I'm like, wait, hold on, time out.
So your ICM's lower, sir. So like now you should be getting less.
But and my thing is like, yeah, but we didn't play those hands bad. You did. You know what I mean? I said this to him, like, you decided to play those hands. Like, we didn't play them for you. Like, you lost those chips, not us. Anyway, long story short, this dude was like digging in. He's like, nah, I'm gonna need at least 25 grand. And like, I am like, absolutely not. Like, I don't give a shit who the fuck you think you are. You could be Daniel Negreanu sitting at this table. Like, you're 4th in chips overall. Yeah, maybe by like a small margin, but you're not gonna get close to like more than 3rd place money. So we negotiate it, and the last place dude, he's like, listen, I'm in last place, and I'm getting he was getting like a considerable pay jump from what he would get. He's like, I'll give $1,000 up, and I'm like, okay, so that's 1,000, so we can get this guy maybe closer to his 25 number. And my thing is like, I don't give a shit either way. So I'm like, okay, here's what I'll do. I was like, in order to make this work, I was like, I'll give 500 up towards that, but I want the trophy.
Yeah, take the claim.
Yeah, and the first place guy is like, oh, I don't care. Like, yeah, you can have the trophy. I was like, look, I'm not going to give you more money so this chop goes through if I'm not getting anything for it. So I'm going to take the trophy and I'll give you your $500 because that's what you want. And that got him to like 23 and change. And on paper, it gave him he got 3rd place because he got more money than I did. But technically at the time, I would have got 3rd place money. Whatever. Irregardless. So then he's like, well, you didn't earn it. And I'm like, wait, time out, dog.
I wish that's like
no, you don't understand. I was like literally giving this dude the business, and then it comes full circle, and I'll tell you why. So I'm like,
you
bro,
should have been like, no chop, and then just took that dude out.
I'm like, dude, listen.
Him.
He's like, if we play this out, I'm gonna win this whole thing. And I'm like, yo, listen, that's fine, all well and good. You want to make this deal, we're gonna make the deal, but I'm not giving you $500 because you think you're gonna win this whole thing solely on that fact. I was like, I'm gonna take the trophy, or we're gonna play it out. And he was like, fine, that's fine, you can have it. So then I got the trophy. So here we go. So anyway, the dude Bob, he was super chill. He took his picture with the trophy, but he was like, yeah, no big deal, you can take it. So now I got a little mini Borgata to go along with my diamond Borgata.
I see one of these.
Go ahead.
So now Brian's got 2. This is on my. I have a list of like things I want to accomplish in the poker world, and winning a Borgata event is on there. I still haven't done it, so that is on the list of things to do. Oh, this is heavy, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
It's pretty heavy.
So
little mini Borgats.
So I got a little mini Borgats, but I didn't. I don't want to say I didn't earn it because I did earn it. You should
put this as a paperweight on your desk, like at work. It's like, dude, that's heavy right there.
I negotiated terms to acquire it. So while I have it, it's not because I came in 1st place. I actually on paper
chop, though. Yeah, but
came in 4th place, but as a part of the negotiation to acquire the chop, I got the trophy. So pretty cool stuff. I definitely love bringing things like this home because you said it, like your kids kind of fall in love with it. And I'll always own the story that I didn't actually earn it. Like I'm never going to be like, yeah, I won that, like whatever. But the difference in money was like maybe like 6,000.
Yeah, but when you chop a tournament that close, it's like
I mean, whatever. You can brag. You can brag about it.
It's worth the.
But it's funny because that same guy was there. I went and played this past weekend. It was called like a triple stack. I finished, just outside the bubble to make day 2. And my buddy was there, and I see this guy at the table with my buddy, and he's chipped up. Like I mean, he made day 2. I probably made a deep run. He didn't come in the top 5. I know that because I saw it today.
you were anti-sweating,
but I literally, of course, I'm anti-sweating this dude's life from here on out, right? And I came up to the table, and I'm like, you, and he's like, what's up, man? And I'm like, yo, I got a bounty on this guy. I was like, you guys take this guy out, $100 to whoever knocks this dude out. And I have $100. I'm like, you see this guy right here? And I point to my buddy Joe. I'm like, if he's still in on day 2, you let him know, and I will pay this bounty. But he must have busted out before that guy busted out.
That's great.
But yeah, man, good times, 2 trophies in the course of a week. Definitely. I guess what's the word? Like empowering in the sense of like all the work that you put in actually makes a difference when, your hands stand up, the cards run good for you, you're making good decisions.
And you got 25 grand in your pocket.
Nice chunk of change segues me into,
Then we went to Turning Stone.
Vegas. Yeah, and now fast forward,
And then you went on a run. Dude, this dude's been on a straight heater, bro. So now we go to Turning Stone. This is my second year going. This is Brian's first year. So I kind of want to hear your opinion a little bit because I kind of gave my first year review. But we headed up there. And first thing, throw it out there a little bit. We went to a Pizza Hut. It's dude, I was so hyped about this place. A little bit of a letdown, but it was still pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
They have a retro Pizza Hut like along the way up there. It's about halfway from New Jersey to up there. It's like right on the edge of Pennsylvania and New York. I still can't pronounce the name where it was, but it's like a classic like 80s, 90s Pizza Hut, like the design, the cups, the overview.
Yeah, the cups were like the thing that brought me back.
Yeah, so I was like just being in the elements. That was just cool. We did a little pit stop, but then we went up. I'll say this, like driving there, I would love to go up there in like the fall because it's probably absolutely beautiful up there.
Yep.
Last year I went up, it was a little bit cold and like dreary. This year it was a little bit nicer driving up. So the hillsides and things like that. It was just like beautiful driving up there.
That was the best part. So like when we went to the Pizza Hut, it was kind of like off the main drag. So like we kind of got off the highway and then like went into this little town, and then to get back to where it was on track to head back towards the casino, we kind of had to go like, I don't want to say like off road, but it wasn't off road. It was like not your main drag. So. Yeah. It was super hilly, like a lot of turns, a lot of twists, beautiful countryside. And like that was the best part of the trip because like I love driving that. Like I'm just like going up and down. Obviously I'm going above the speed limit, but it was just fun like being somewhere where there's not very many cars and you kind of just have like the freedom to just enjoy like the landscape. But I was definitely surprised. Like it was how you described it. It was a decent enough casino. With the exception of the smell in the poker room, I don't know if anyone was there, and there was like this atrocious smell that was coming from like the vents in the poker room, in the main cash poker room area that like pretty much cleared me out because the first day I went, well, we'll get to that. Anyway, so we get there, pretty big casino, has a full casino, slots, table games, the whole 9 yards. It's on an Indian reservation, I'm assuming, and it's Indian owned. Is that the right?
Native American. I don't know. Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to offend anyone.
Indigenous people.
Something. Listen, I apologize if I offended anyone. I went to a Catholic school. Like they didn't use correct terminology, but anyway. Yeah. So like there was like kids running around. Like the first thing I noticed when I walked in, and I talked to you about this. As soon as I walk in, right, these like kids are running by me, like going to the elevator to get out of the casino, and I'm like, I actually did like what the fuck? Like, what are they doing? And right there, when you walk in, is like where the poker area is, like where they were having the tournament. And I see like security running, and like someone was coming out, and it was obvious they were going after the kids. And like this guy was coming out of the bathroom, and he was talking to one of the security guards. Like, yeah, I saw him filling up squirt guns with urine, with with piss, and they were squirting people with it. And I was like, dude,
I would have murdered somebody.
Like if I had walked in and these kids squirted me with piss, and then I found out afterwards that it was piss, I would have been pissed.
Dude, that was day one. So if I walked in the casino and I got squirted with piss, I think I would have just got in the car.
Dude, I would have been disgusted.
I would have went home. I just would have drove 5 hours straight home.
So needless to say, the first impression was like, oh my God, where the fuck am I walking into? You got these fucking 18-year-old kids squirting people with piss.
So that's the thing. Turning Stone's 18. So
yes,
it's a little wild there. Like we were there on the weekend. So like Friday, Saturday night, it's like high school kids there. It's a weird vibe.
Definitely a weird dynamic.
Yeah, it's weird.
For sure. Because you're like not that you're checking like these girls out, but you actually are like, what?
Yeah, like
what is going on? Like,
why is there a high school prom going
seriously,
on right
now? That's exactly what it reminded me of. Like they're dressed up like they're going to like a formal dance. So anyway, the first day, don't do shit. Second day was the main event day. I think we both played the same flight, or no. You went to Cooperstown and I played the main event.
Yeah. So I went to Cooperstown. I haven't been there since I was 9 or 10 years old. I went for the Mike Schmidt, Richie Ashburn inauguration back when I was a kid. I have like fond memories of that going. We went on like a big bus trip with my dad and a bunch of people. We went up there, and so that was a really cool experience. And I haven't been back since. So it was a little bit like, like walking down, memory lane. It's weird because it's in the middle of nowheres, dude. There's a whole backstory. I'm not gonna get into it. You can obviously Google it, but like the original story was like they put this here because this is where the first baseball game was, which was actually a lie that they kind of created because they were trying to like sell a story of like Americana, basically.
Yeah.
And so back in like I think the 20s or 30s, they like came up with this lie that basically this is where baseball was invented, but it wasn't. But it's a beautiful little town. It's a very small town, but it's literally in the middle of nowhere's New York. And so that's like pretty much the only thing there. There's a couple little stores and restaurants and whatnot. So me and my buddy Pete, we went up there, drove there for the day. It was pretty cool going around the Hall of Fame and just brought back like a little bit of memory lane of being a kid and just being really into baseball when I was growing up and stuff. So that was cool. And then it's about 45 minutes to an hour away from Turning Stone, but there's not like anything up there in Turning Stone area. So that's probably like the main attraction. When you go up there, that's like probably the main thing to go do if you want to do a little like day trip. So we went and did that, drove back, and then I think I played the 4:00 flight. That one, that's the one I think I cashed in.
So, you went pretty deep in that.
Yeah, so I came in like 27th. We were down like 3 tables, so I came in like 27th in that. It was basically it was like a double min cash.
Yeah.
Nothing major there, but that was my one little mini score of the weekend. So that's all I pretty much had in the bag.
Yeah. So I didn't go to Cooperstown. I mean, obviously, it's no secret. I don't get to play that much. So, like, when he was like, yo, you want to Cooperstown? I was like, yeah, we'll see. But in the back of my head, I was like, there's absolutely no way I'm going to Cooperstown.
He's like, I'm collecting trophies, bro.
Not even that. I'm just playing fucking poker for 4 days straight because that's what I came up here to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I decided to play the main event on an off day from you. And
so you played Friday. And then
I played Friday. You played Saturday.
Yeah.
And I ran pretty well. It's funny because I got moved to a table, like, late in the day. And there was a guy directly across from me, and he was the guy I played heads up at the Borgata for my first trophy. And again, same thing. Like I will never forget certain people's like in my life because that was like obviously a defining moment. Like my first real poker tournament win with considerable money. My only one prior to this, but I just remember, and I like halfway through, like we're sitting there, and I'm like, this is him. And I finally was just like, yeah, was your name this? And he's like, yeah. He's like, why is that? He's like, do you know me? And I was like, do you recognize me at all? And he's like, no, I don't really recognize you. And I was like, I played against you at the Borgata, 10 years ago, heads up for a trophy.
He had to remember that, dude.
He said he didn't, and here's why. So he's like, no, he's like, in 2019, I had a major stroke.
Oh crap!
And like some things, he like forgot some things. Well, he had a heart attack, and then he had a stroke or some shit, like something fucking crazy, like some crazy circumstances. And I was like, oh shit. And he's like, yeah, I forget a lot of things, about it, about that before that happening. But anyway, he's like, did you win? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I won. I was like, it's funny because we were going to chop when we were four-handed, and I don't know if you remember, but remember that's when I first met Renata Calace.
Oh, she was on that table too.
She was, yes, I think she finished like 4th, and we were going to try and chop four-handed, but he was like a considerable chip leader, and he's like, no, I'm not chopping. And then, needless to say, I came back from like dust and wound up winning the whole thing, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, I wound up finishing, probably just above a min cash or just slightly above a min cash in the main.
And then you had another deep run.
But listen, the main, you would think the main would be the one I'm the most upset about, and I'm really not, because like I went into day 2 with 8 big blinds, and I knew the deck was stacked against me. Like to run super pure and to like spin that up to be like in contention is hard to do. I mean, I know it can be done, but you need to run like really good.
And I'll say this, I said the same thing last year. They crushed all their numbers, like the numbers for the guarantee for the main, and like they don't have guarantees on the small events, but some of them they did. They were like 25,000 or 50,000 or whatever they were. Absolutely crushed everything.
Yeah.
Like Turning Stone just crushes numbers. I'm going to try to get up there every year. It's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna try to make the trip every year just because the numbers are so good.
Yeah, it's good.
There's a lot of bad players, and
I mean that was like and like you're right, because like listen, most of the time where I play like a major event, and when I say major, I'm saying like above $1,000 buy-in, and maybe that's like generous, but it's very rare that I see the majority of people limping into pots
in a main event,
like what's considered a main event,
which was this was a $1,700 event. It's not
and
like
my first table, and it's probably just luck of the table draw, but my first table, literally
I think
everyone was limping, and I'm like,
you're like, this is great.
I'm like, this is incredible. These guys are limping. Like I felt like I was playing like a Borgata daily, like I'm playing like the $400 buy-in at the Borgata, like, and I'm like, these guys have no idea what's in store for them. You know what I mean?
That's great.
So I got to be a lot more aggressive than I normally would with them, and it pays off. But yeah, so like the day between day 1A or day 1B, whatever it was, and day 2, I was like a filler day for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go play cash. You played the main, and that's when I was playing cash that day when you were playing the main event. And the poker room had this fucking foul smell. And I did not intend to play this 4 o'clock tournament that day. It was like a $400 circuit event. I knew it was going to go late if I even made a deep run. And it wasn't my cup of tea. It was a fucking turbo. I hate turbos. I fucking can't do shit in turbos. It's like donation central. But because of the smell in the poker room, I was like, fuck this. I can't be in here. I'm like, I'm going to play this tournament. So needless to say, I make an unbelievable run. I mean, I played really well, but like again, I got lucky in certain spots, chipped up really, really well, and like again, guys just pretty much gifting me chips when I have the nuts, like ripping into me, and I'm like, oh, I call, you know what I mean? And next thing you know, we're down to like the final 2 tables, and I'm like, holy shit, I actually have a chance to win a fucking ring. And the money was great. Like the money was good. It was like 20 grand for first or something like that, just over 20,000. Maybe it was closer to 30. But in my brain, I'm like, this is it. Like I have a chance. And I remember it was like the final break before I wound up busting out. I wound up going out in 12th for like, again, dust. You think you fall coming in 12th place, I'm getting $1,500. I'm like crying, like, oh my God. But I was like in a decent shape. Like I had like the average at this point was like, like 10 big blinds.
Yeah.
But I had like 15. I had more than the average. And I literally ran into 2 absolute buzzsaws with the same dude in the same seat.
Yep.
And I checked it afterwards. I ran it. It's supposed to be what you're supposed to do, right? And without going into the hands, I shoved into aces. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I shoved into aces the first time. Was it aces or first? No, it shoved into kings the first time, which crippled me, cut me in half. But I was still in. Like I still had a decent stack. And then the next time I shove into aces and I have absolutely no chance. But in both spots I was supposed to do what I
like
did.
4 feet on the button and like you just have like 10 big blinds.
Yes, you just rip.
You're ripping.
But I just wish I had played like a little bit more cautiously. And at that point in the tournament, like ICM doesn't really come into play because the payouts are so flat. But I probably could have navigated it better
6 or 7
to maybe to at least like guarantee myself a shot at it, like on a final table bid. But I was happy to see, and you don't do this. I do like an anti-sweat or just like
I don't.
Or more so like I want to see how that guy did that busted me. But he didn't wind up winning. I never saw like what he finished. He probably had to have finished top 10 easily because he had a ton of chips after he took all of mine. But it was another guy that was at a table I played earlier who wound up winning the whole thing, and it just was crushing because like
you're so close to the win,
so close to the win.
You weren't on this episode. It was Frank was here. We had Antonio Payne on, and he talked about how he had a big run, in kind of like the same story as yours was. Had a big run in like a WSP circuit main event final table. Had a big cash like 30 something like $30,000 cash, like a big cash. But he didn't win though. He came in like 3rd or 4th place. But then he was saying like 2 days later he won a ring for like 15 grand. But it was so much more like rewarding because he won. He finished out the tournament.
I remember listening to that. Yeah. I remember.
And it's that feeling, because we at the end of the day, it's like obviously we're playing for money, right? Like we're all playing for money, but that competition is still built in all of us.
Oh, dude.
If you're a competitive person, you've grown up playing sports or playing in the backyard wiffle ball like we did, like you're always going to have that competitive edge and like you want to grab the win.
It's just weird because like going into it, I didn't even like it wasn't until that last break that I'm like, holy shit, like I have a legitimate chance to win a ring. And like what comes with a ring is like, you know, you have the tournament of champions, you get a buy into it. There comes some legitimacy, like you're a circuit winner. And really it has everything to do with being in the fucking zone. And we talk about this all the time. Like there have been times when we've been playing poker in our poker careers, if you name it, where it just I can't explain it. It's like I compare it to like the Matrix, like where like you're just fucking like Neo, like dodging bullets, like you're making all the right moves, and
you just see everything,
every angle, and everything just clicking, and you're just seeing everything work the way it's intended to go. And those times come so infrequently for me when you don't play a lot, but like I didn't want to waste it, and I felt like I'm coming off the heels of, you know, the Borgata, a 20,000 plus cash. We're going to Turning Stone. I have day 2 coming tomorrow in the main, and here I am, a filler event, 12 people from winning a ring, and I'm like, I don't want to waste this zone that I'm in. And so I'm hoping that, you know, it carries over into Vegas. You know, we've already talked about that. You're going for the Aria Poker Championship.
Yeah, so you're
right?
going the middle of June. So that's what's coming up for us guys. I'm doing a thing right now. I'm trying to stream every week on BetMGM poker. If you guys don't play on there, check it out. But basically, I'm trying to play the Aria satellites. I've been trying to filter up. I've played into the 500 twice now. I've got into, but I haven't got past it yet. If you win, there's different levels. There's like a $5 satty, a $50 satty, 500 satty, and then if you win that, you get a seat to the June 30th main event, which is a $3 million guarantee. It's the week before the WSOP main.
Yep.
So it's like a perfect filler week to like jump in. So that's my goal right now. That's kind of like my schedule is like I'm gonna be out there the week before the main, try to play everything, and hoping to have obviously a good run that week, and then jump right into the WSOP main. So that's kind of my goal right now. I know you're going out 2 weeks earlier for what, the Monster Stack?
Yeah. Again, I've already said it. You know, those deep tournaments plays pretty slow for the most part, pretty much on par with what the main is, with some exceptions. But I did fairly well last year. It wouldn't look like I did on paper, but you know, when thousands of people fucking enter and you cash, you know, it's rewarding. I'm just hoping to take, like I said, where I'm at mentally and segue it into potentially, hopefully,
No, you will, man.
some sort of deep run out there.
You got a good focus set right now. You're going good.
Yeah.
You know, I just need you not coming first in our league because I'm in first right now. So I'll take that. You can,
this guy put a bounty on me today. He sends me. I'm not in the group chat on They have a Facebook like group chat, and he sends me usually what he sends in there. People are sending in there. And he put a bounty on me. I'm like not even close to you. Like
right, dude.
You're just bugging.
What's the saying? Don't give someone a hammer today that they could use against you tomorrow.
Yeah,
right?
well,
Like,
I mean, I just want to stay in that top 6 so I can get that
Vegas money,
travel money, baby.
So yeah, we got a couple good. I don't want to announce them yet, but we got a couple people we're trying to get scheduled. So we got a couple name brand people coming through next couple months. It's busy. You know, poker players, man, like that's the thing about like scheduling poker players to be on like podcasts and things. You know, like a normal person works like a Monday to Friday or whatever, but like poker players, like I'm playing a tournament that day, so like you know, they could be in all night.
You got to catch them at like noon on a fucking Tuesday. You're like, yeah, I guess I'm coming home from work for lunch.
So anyway, we got a couple kind of decent names out there that we're gonna get on the show, which is a matter of scheduling them to happen. But yeah, that's what we got for you for this month's episode. We'll just call it Brian's Trophy Success episode.
Yeah, look at this guy, dude.
Yeah, put him right in the middle.
I can't wait till these guys come in. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Put him right in the middle here. We'll get a last shot.
These guys are like, "Yo, look at this guy."
Thank you everyone for following. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check out our sponsors, the Slot Squad, and then you can also check out Spade Society on Club GG Poker. So thanks everyone. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace.